Now that Lord Pasta is the leader of the rebellion, he gains a massive army. Look at all these combat units. We also have a variety of classes, many of which you haven't even seen yet. First, let me start off by saying that the fighter is the basic male class. The Amazon is the basic female class. As they gain levels, they can change into higher classes such as the knight and the cleric. So yeah, the knights and clerics and such we have now basically have a head start, which is good. You should make use of these guys. Monster classes such as Hellhound, Griffin, and Octopus follow different rules for class changing. In a moment, I'm going to show you the reserves. They're just characters who aren't currently in a unit, but easily can be. Okay, here they are. Now, am I going to leave my army the way it is now? No. I'm going to organize it the way I see fit. But not yet. First, I'm going to explain the statistics of the game. First off, is HP. You lose these, and you die. Strength. It determines physical attack power and physical defense. Agility. It influences physical evasion, physical accuracy, and turn order. Now, turn order in this game is semi-random, so you won't always go first if you're the fastest, but you usually will. Next is intelligence. This is going to be big. It influences magical power, magical defense, magical accuracy, and magical evasion. Yeah, that's a lot. HP, strength, agility, and intelligence are the only stats that increase on a level up. The other stats I'm going to explain in a moment. First, let me tell you what I'm doing here. I'm removing characters and putting them back in the reserves. A nice trick you can do is remove the leader if the leader is not the lord and the entire unit becomes disbanded. That saves time. Anyway, charisma. Charisma is needed for certain class promotions, and it determines how well you can recruit neutral characters, which will come up later. Alignment is a measure of how good or evil a character is, and determines two things. One, certain classes have alignment requirements, and two, low alignment characters fight better during the night. High alignment characters fight better during the day, and if you have neutral alignment, you fight well in the middle of the day. As for luck, it has a minor effect on evasion and accuracy of all kinds, and it determines your chances of being given an item when you liberate a Roshian Temple. Now let me show you the erase character function. You just do that and bam, the character's gone. I end up erasing a bunch of characters because I prefer managing a smaller army. I skip all the erasing so you don't have to sit through it. Now let's make up Pasta's unit. Just add some characters. Here are some things to keep in mind. Certain classes do better in certain rows. Some are front row oriented and some are back row oriented. And other classes, like the Griffin, do fine regardless of what row you put them in. So definitely keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, you can have up to 5 characters maximum in a unit. If the character is a large beast, though, they'll take up 2 spaces. Definitely keep that in mind. Now, what else is there to say? Ah, yes. Characters have a certain cost of deployment, which you can see on the status screen. Fighters and Amazons will obviously be cheap, while higher classes will be more expensive. As characters gain levels, they'll become more and more expensive. But you'll have more and more money, so it's not a huge deal. Also notice how every class has their own movement type, and not every class is eligible for unit leadership. Fighters, Amazons, and large monsters are examples. Now let me tell you a little something about rows. Characters in the front row will take physical attacks for characters in the back row. The back row characters cannot be reached, except by special attacks and magical attacks. What do I mean by special attacks? You'll see more of those later. So yeah, notice how I have the Griffin covering the Lord. The Lord cannot be hit by swords and spears and such. Now who shall I put in the back? An Amazon would be a good choice, and that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I just settle on an Amazon. There you go. A complete unit. Now for a new unit. This time Lands will be the leader. So yeah, I'm just gonna choose Lands. Now you're gonna notice, why am I putting him in the front? Won't he be in danger? Well, there is an element of risk, naturally, with putting a leader in the front row. But that doesn't mean you can't do it. Just make sure it's a class that can take the hits, like a knight. And now look, I skipped the rest of the process so you don't have to wait. And now my units are complete. Look at these styles I have here. Another thing you should know is that if you're going to put a leader in the front, also don't put him in the center. They'll be open to all attacks if they're in the center. So put him to the side like I did with Lands and Woody the Samurai. Also, I tend to keep units of similar alignments together. That way I can have units specialized for day or night combat. That's a good thing to know. And now I'm going to show you equipping. Here we have the Elder Sign. That is a very nice piece of equipment. Better choose someone right to give it to. I'll give it to Lance, since he's a leader in the front lines and there is no cleric in his unit. White garb. That's pretty good. I'll give that to Woody, since he's a leader in the front lines. Yeah. Also note that anybody can equip anything in this game, but you can only equip one thing. I'm not kidding. Even large monsters can equip swords and helmets and such, which is pretty cool and random. Now, why am I going back to the Castle of Warren? Well, there are always reasons to revisit places you've already completed. 1, you may have missed a town or temple, and 2, you may have missed a buried treasure. That's what I'm here to find. Notice how fast I'm crossing the water. That's because my unit is a high sky unit. It can move across all terrain types with efficiency due to the fact that we fly. Now I got a tiara. Let's see what this tiara does. Silver tiara. Hey, what's this? Something mysterious is boosted by 8. First, let's exit the map. Now, I looked it up, and it raises white resistance by 8. Yeah, that's another one of this game's typos. So let's equip it. Who to give it to? Well, I already know who I gave it to. And I'm about to show you. I'll just put it on Melanie the Valkyrie. Now I'm finally set up, and that's all for this video. Yeah, I was gonna tell you about those other files, but you're gonna have to wait again. Sorry. But hey, the next video is gonna be big, because we're finally starting the rebellion. See you guys.